Today we stand at crossroads. The gig economy, once promised as a flexible, empowering opportunity, has instead become a system that exploits workers, denies them fair wages, and strips them of basic protections. But we refuse to accept this as the only way forward. To counter these injustices, we are introducing a new model of management, one that puts power back to the hands of the workers. Instead of a traditional, profit-driven hierarchy, our platform will be owned and controlled by the very people who keep it running, the drivers and delivery workers themselves. This is not just a business. This is a movement towards fairness, dignity, and economic justice. I'm Bedu, one of the stakeholders at Tumamina Corporation.
And I'm the stakeholder of Tumamina Corporations. I'm Onita Masanga, and I'm the stakeholder of Tumamina Corporations.
I'm Karabo Masang, one of the stakeholders at Tumamina Corporation. Corporate structures are designed to maximize profits for shareholders rather than prioritize worker well-being, leading to systematic workplace injustice. In the gig economy, this manifests in worker exploitation, job insecurity, and lack of democratic decision-making. Corporations enforce hierarchies rather than concentrate power at the top while treating workers as disposable labor rather than stakeholders. Our worker-owned digital platform seeks to challenge this model by prioritizing worker agency, fair wages, and collective workership. I'll be looking at the problems like traditional OP and how our model solves them by using the key theories such as racial capitalism and corporate personhood. The racial capitalism argues that capitalism relies on racial and class hierarchies to extract values from marginalized workers. Traditional gig economy platforms like Uber and Bolt, labeled as independent contractors, so companies can avoid paying minimum wages, healthcare, or job security. Lastly, traditional OP theories like Taylor's scientific management treats workers like machines, focusing only on productivity, not their well-being. Therefore, a worker-owned model ensures drivers and delivery workers own the platform and share in profits, and workers get fair wages, benefits like healthcare, and protection from unfair firing. Corporate personhood gives businesses legal protection similar to individuals, shielding them from liability while workers lack the same protections. Large corporations use this legal status to avoid accountabilities. Firms like Uber outsource risk to individual gig workers, making them bear the cost of accidents, lost wages, and job instability. Then the solution is that our platform is run by workers, meaning decisions are made fairly by the people doing the job. Transparent pay structures and worker-led dispute resolution prevent corporate abuse. An OP model creates unfair workplace by keeping power and money at the top, while workers have to say. Our worker-owned model challenges this system by ensuring fair pay, equal decision-making, and better worker protection.
Unlike corporate gig platforms that maximize profits at the expense of their workers, we are building an ethical, worker-owned digital platform. Here, gig workers are not just laborers, they are co-owners. They have a direct say in decision-making and a fair share of the profits they help generate. Instead of decisions being made by executives who have never set foot on the road, our democratic governance structure ensures that policies, wages, and working conditions are determined by the workers, for the workers. A worker-elected council will oversee major corporate decisions, ensuring transparency and fairness at every level. Ownership alone is not enough. We are introducing a transparent employment allocation system, ensuring that trips and deliveries are distributed fairly, preventing favoritism and worker exploitation. And the basic rights that gig workers have been denied for too long, we are putting an end to that injustice. Every worker will have access to fundamental benefits, health insurance, disability coverage, and pension contributions. Because no worker should have to choose between putting food on the table today and securing their future tomorrow. And if disputes arise, unlike traditional gig platforms that deactivate workers without explanation, we will have a worker-elected dispute resolution board, ensuring that every worker is treated with dignity and given a fair hearing. We are not doing this alone. We will partner with manufacturing companies and local fast food businesses that share the same values as us, ensuring that fair wages, safe working conditions, and ethical treatment of workers extends beyond our platform. Together, we will challenge the power of corporate giants who prioritize profits over people. This is more than a business. This is a revolution in the gig economy. We are proving that there is a better way, a way that values workers over wealth, fairness over exploitation, and dignity over corporate greed.
The implementation of gig workers in organizational behavior requires adaptation traditional management practices to accommodate the flexible, autonomous, and project-based nature of gig workers. Organizations must focus on creating an inclusive work culture that integrates gig workers with full-time employees while acknowledging their unique needs. Effective communication and collaboration tools are essential to ensuring that gig workers feel connected to the company's mission and values despite their temporary status. Additionally, leadership approaches should emphasize motivation, trust building, and performance evaluation that aligns with the gig economy's demand for independence and flexibility. By implementing technological-driven performances tracking and feedback mechanism, organizations can maintain accountability and efficiency while supporting gig workers' career development. Another critical aspect of integrating gig workers into OB is addressing issues related to job security, benefits, and organizational commitments. Unlike traditional employees, gig workers often lack access to benefits such as health insurance, retirement plans, and job stability, which can impact their motivation and job satisfaction. Companies that rely on gig workers should explore alternative compensation models such as offering project-based incentives, skill training, and professional development opportunities to enhance job satisfaction and retention. Furthermore, ethical consideration must be taken into accountability, ensuring fair treatment, protection from exploitation, and transparent contractual agreements by strategically implementing policies that recognize gig workers' contributions and providing some level of stability. Organizations can create a more sustainable and mutual beneficial working relationship.
In concluding the presentation, the first aspect we're going to look at is rethinking the gig economy. As mentioned before, the gig economy has long been dominated by corporate structures that prioritize profits over people, leaving workers with low wages, no benefits, and job insecurity. Our worker-owned digital platform presents a transformative alternative, one that challenges these exploitative models by ensuring fair compensation, worker security, and shared decision-making. By shifting the balance of power from corporations to the workers themselves, our model creates a more ethical, democratic, and sustainable system. One, those one where those who drive the platform also govern it. And then secondly, our second aspect we're going to look at is the breaking away from traditional models. As previously mentioned by my colleagues, traditional organizational behavior theories have justified hierarchical corporate structures where profits flow upward, leaving workers with little to no control over their livelihoods. Gig workers are often labeled as independent contractors, stripping them of basic rights such as healthcare, minimum wage protections, and job security. Companies like Uber and Bolt outsource risk to workers while maximizing shareholder profit. Our worker-owned model directly counters this by ensuring that every driver and delivery worker is a co-owner of the platform, meaning that they are included in decision-making and profits and overall governance. Instead of being disposable labor, they become stakeholders with a vested interest and a voice. And then thirdly, we're going to be looking at addressing the key organizational behavior issues. As stated earlier, many of the problems faced by gig workers today stem from outdated OB theories that prioritize productivity over worker well-being. The scientific management approach, for example, reduces workers to mere tools for efficiency rather than individuals with needs and rights. Racial capitalism exacerbates these injustices by disproportionately exploiting marginalized workers who are often given the most insecure and lowest paying jobs. So our worker-owned model actively counters these injustices by implementing the following: fair pay structures, job security measures, worker-led governance, and healthcare and safety protections. And then ultimately, what does our future look like? Well, to conclude this presentation, the worker-owned digital platform model is not just an alternative, it is the future. By putting power in the hands of those who operate the platform, we create the future. A gig economy that is sustainable, ethical, and centered on economic justice. As discussed before, the success of our model will not only improve conditions for drivers and delivery workers, but will also serve as a blueprint for other industries seeking to break away from exploitative corporate structures. Our vision is clear: a fairer, more dignified future for gig workers where they are no longer disposable labor, but co-owners, decision makers, and valued members of an equitable economy. This is not just a step toward change, it is a revolution in how work is structured in the modern digital age. Thank you.